Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Majestic speaking, and today we're going to be looking into some more MechWarrior Online here. Going to be taking a look at the Rifleman, which has just made its way into the game, and this in particular is the Legend Killer, which is the hero variant of the Rifleman. And just from a cosmetic look, this is an absolutely fantastic looking mech. Even just this graphic right here is pretty sweet looking. This isn't the stock paint. I placed black and white on there so that you can really see the definition in the lines and the trim on this thing. It looks absolutely incredible. It has the LK up there just for Legend Killer. It's really a custom paint job specifically for this mech, like any of the hero variants, and I love it. I think it's really awesome. It's definitely something I've never seen in the game before, so it's definitely one of my favorites from that perspective. But just because it's cosmetically appealing doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to perform just as well as it looks. So first, before we do anything, let's look at the quirks that are involved with this thing. It has 4 energy and 4 ballistic hardpoints on this variant in particular. And as you can see, I'm not using any of the ballistics, and I'll go through that in just a short bit. The quirks in particular are for the LB10 on the ballistics. It does have a ballistic cooldown of 15%, which applies to any of the ballistic weapons, but the LB10X in particular, it has a reduction in the spread. So in case you aren't familiar with the LB weapons at all, what they do is they fire kind of like a shotgun shell. It's like a spread amount of damage that it shoots out, because they shoot out in like little pellets. So what this is saying is that if you use the LB10, the spread on those pellets will be reduced by 10%, so it's more consolidated, focused fire. It also has an LB10X cooldown per quirk of 10%. On top of that, ballistic cooldown of 15% would give you a 25% LB10X cooldown. However, I am not a big fan of the LB of any of the LB weapons, just in general, because I like to really have concentrated focus fire with ballistics, you know, UAC 5s, UAC weapons, or just any ace autocannon weapon in general. And I don't like to think that when I'm shooting an LB weapon, even if I just graze them with one of the pellets from my fire in my canister, that I used ammo. You know, like, I really like to make sure that my shots count. And, you know, just grazing someone, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but from my own standpoint, I prefer to have the, you know, the pinpoint kind of damage on one specific hard point. Really helps with your aiming as well. So, you know, if you're aiming for a certain component on a mech and you hit it with one of those other weapons as opposed to an LB weapon, that you really deserve to hit that component, maybe crit that certain component off, or even get that critical kill shot. So, in any case, the other quirks that are on this thing are energy cooldown of 10%, energy heat generation of 5%, and laser duration of 10%. So, to me, the only other quirk that really appealed to me was the ballistic cooldown of 15%. Unless you're using LB10Xs, which I prefer not to use, I decided to stick with the energies. You know, I know it sounds kind of silly in some aspects, but this is a subjective build. It's a custom build to show you guys what I prefer to take out on the battlefield, out there on the battlefield, and display how this thing actually functions. So let's take a look at the loadout. 2 large pulse in each torso and 2 larges in each arm. So it is a DPS heavy mech with only 4 lasers. It's completely full of armor, so there's only 5 back armor on any of the hard points, or on any of the components, and I took off only 1 hard point in each leg so that, you know, I could obviously fit everything. It has an XL285, it goes 82.7 kph. This is a completely mastered mech. I invested the GXP so that you guys could see what this thing is optimally for this build in particular out there on the battlefield. And this is just really a trial build. You know, I think I took this thing out once so far, and then I was just messing around with it in the mech lab, seeing what I liked, and I'll go through a comparative build for you in just a second, but this is what it looks like stock, with the stock paint and the stock loadout. These are the LB10Xs with a mixture of mediums and large lasers in there. However, the armor on it is kind of paper thin. It's a 60-ton heavy, but in comparison to like its Jaeger counterpart, which is a little bit heavier, this thing has 400 armor points versus versus the Jaeger counterpart, which has more. It's only, I mean, I only compare it to the Jaeger because it's very similar in its looks and in its mounts for the hard points. Now, just a little background. If you look at the lore on this, it was more of an air defense kind of mech. So that's where I can see the LBX's any LB weapon for this thing coming into play. You know, kind of like anti-aircraft kind of shooting with LB weapons because it's spread fire. So you know, you're just hoping to like hit anything out of the air. So it's not really meant for, you know, necessarily to, you know, hit the front lines like a Jaeger or something like that. Now, on some of the other variants, there are obviously different hard points, but on this one in particular, obviously it was only catering to those LB-10s, and, you know, I decided, you know what, I'm going to turn it into my own kind of build. I love the Legend Killer, like the look of it, and, you know, the hard points are pretty neat, but I just wanted to turn it into what I thought would be cool on this thing. And comparatively, this is the comparative build that I placed. So I have this one, which is the 2 large pulse, 2 large, and then I have the other one that I had made, which was 4 mediums and 2 LB-10Xs. So, in comparison, they both filled out the 60 tons. The other build filled out 67 out of 78 slots, whereas this one fills out 70 out of 78 slots. Not a big difference. Armor was still the same, 400 out of 402 on both of them. Now, here's where the differences were. Actually, no, the firepower is also the same. The alpha was 40 for this build, as it is for the 4 mediums, 2 LB-10Xs. Now, the differences come in the speed, heat management, and heat dissipation. The speed on this is 82.7, which on the other build I could only fit an XL 280, which wasn't a huge difference, but it would only go 81.2 kph versus this one, which goes 82.7 kph. The heat management on this is 1.28, whereas the heat management on the other was 1.24. And last but not least, because of the fact that I don't have to worry about you know, any ammo or you know, I guess heavy ballistic weapons and so forth, I was able to fit more heat sinks. So on the other one, I had 4 mediums, 2 LB-10Xs, and 3.5 tons of ammo. So and obviously a lighter engine. But you know, I've been putting a heavier engine on this one, freeing up those that extra tonnage by not having the ballistic hard points in there with the LB-10Xs or the ammo. I was able to place 16 double heat sinks on this versus the other, which only had 11. So the heat dissipation is a lot better. So optimally, this seemed overall the better choice. You know, as for the modules that I placed on it, just to make it even more heat efficient, I placed the Cool Shot 9x9 on there. I don't really recommend using the Cool Shot 6 anymore, just because of the fact that, I mean, it's really, you know, you're not really dissipating that much heat off of it. Unless you're in dire straits and you have like a 9 energy hardpoint laser boat. That's really the only time that you should be taking the 6 out there with you, so that you can, you know, obviously make sure that you never hit that 100% threshold. But I also have the improved airstrike on there for my other consumable. Target info gathering reduces the time that it takes to gather information about my opponents by 25%. And then the 2 weapon modules that I place are just large laser range of level 5, so it increases the range by 10%. Large pulse laser range of 5, which improves the large pulse laser range by another 10% as well. And then advanced seismic sensor. 250 meters, I can sense any vibrations in the ground as long as I am standing still, so I can pick out enemy positioning as long as they are within that range. But you know, this is kind of like a sniper and you know, skirmishy build. The alpha on it being 40 at close range, that's still very hefty. So, you know, obviously I'll be providing mostly that long-range support, but it can be capable of providing a very, very significant alpha at close range as well. So this is just, again, this is just the camo that I placed on it, the black and white, so you can see the trim and the outline of this mech, which is absolutely beautiful. And the cockpit just came, I'll show you real quick. These are the 3 items that it comes with. Purple Phoenix this time, so Purple Phoenix standing, Purple Phoenix Warhorn, and Purple Phoenix hanging. So, you know, it's pretty cool looking, I guess, but they don't really have much difference in the sound or anything, or the animations that they make. But let's drop into the queue here. Only going to be doing 1 round of gameplay again in any of these new mechs that have been coming out. So hopefully you guys, you know, can appreciate this 1 round that we're going to do. Hopefully we get a good match, and you know, well, first of all, hopefully we get a good team. Second of all, hopefully we get a good map, and third of all, hopefully I get some decent gameplay on my end, because again, this thing is pretty new, and you know, there have been mostly good reviews about it, but you know, obviously, if you look at the positioning of how high that head, how high the head goes on this thing, you know, it's easy for mechs to hit you when you don't even know where you're getting hit, and it's on the top of your head. So, you know, just keep that in mind if you do decide to get this mech, that, you know, the top of your head is a little more exposed than the rest of the mech, so just keep that in mind. Dang it! I was hoping we could get Frozen City, and I keep getting Polar Highlands tonight. Not my favorite map, but it definitely caters to my weapon types. And it will definitely help from the heat management ratio as well, and the heat dissipation as well. So, Polar Highlands is a cold, open map, so it definitely gives me that opportunity to trade at long distances and get some shots down on mechs at extreme distances. Especially with the range modules that I placed on this thing, it could pan out in our favor. So, we'll just have to see how it works out, and if it works out in general. So. Not familiar with any of these. Oh, actually, I do know Archangel. I have seen him before. Okay. Nope. I think he's the only person I've ever seen before. So, hopefully we could get this. Will turn into a good round. It's a huge map, but with negative 55 degrees Celsius, that's definitely going to help us with the heat management. Because on an alpha, I think I hit like 42 or 43 or something in this thing. So. Hopefully this works out in our favor. I feel like tonight, in particular, with the amount of volume of you know, players being on, there's been a lot of people that are not ready or disconnecting, or you know, I'm not really sure. So, or I should say I'm not really sure as to the reason why no one's readying up. Like, clearly they've connected, but I just really hope that we don't have anyone that's like AFK or anything like that. That would really stink. And of course there's some chat right here about the Rifleman. Got a couple of them with me. I got well, it's me.
Reactor online. Sensors.
And then where's the, I can't hit tab yet.
All systems online.
But here we go. So here's the hopefully we could get a good round with this thing, especially on a map like this. I feel like this could be optimal because of the trading aspect. You know, we can trade at a very, very significant distance. So hopefully we can just at least show off this build and how this thing works, and you guys can see exactly, you know, what the strong points are with the quirks that I'm using and the specific weapons that I'm using. So, again, not using any ballistics, which I know might raise some eyebrows, because I know the Rifleman, I mean, it has rifle in the frickin' name, but, you know, sometimes you just have to move some of that other stuff over because there might be better builds out there. And just from the statistical standpoint of heat management, heat dissipation, speed, what I was able to fit, you don't have to worry about ammo, this looked like the better choice. So anyway, enough of me blabbing. Not really sure where they are located, and Ratchada doesn't seem Doesn't really seem like he knows where they are. So, just trying to keep tabs on everyone. And here they come. They're right in front of us. Indigo 8, Indigo 9.
Target acquired.
Yes. He's coming right for us. Come on, pop up your ugly head.
Target destroyed.
Why do I always get targeted? Jesus. Especially with missiles. I feel like they know. So good exchanges from a distance. Oh, that king crab. Don't step in front of me, dude. Come on. Incoming missile. No! Ha! You missed. The range on this thing is great. Especially with that range bonus. How?
New target acquired.
Yeah! Mess him up, guys. I like to see.
Acquired.
I swear, if one more person steps in front of me, I'm gonna shoot him.
New target acquired.
Get out of my way.
Target
I'm tired of you guys stepping in front of me.
Target acquired. Enemy base is being
Yes. Hey. Nice, they're all probably gonna start squealing.
Enemy base is being captured.
I don't want to whip around this corner too quick.
Target acquired.
Good night.
Enemy base is being captured.
I think I should stick with the team. I feel like I'm too far ahead or exposed or something. Especially given my current condition. Do not step in front of me.
Target acquired.
He's not doing good. He's cored up now.
New target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed.
Nice. Good kills, good consolidated shooting. What's over here?
Target acquired.
Oh boy.
Warning.
He is not like me.
Missile.
No. Hey, watch it.
Target acquired.
So, I mean, you know, there's mixed impressions about this mech.
So they can pressure them to turning their backs. Dare to push.
Target destroyed.
Yes.
Enemy base is
You'd
being
be surprised
captured.
by how stupid some people can be.
Target destroyed.
Good night.
New target acquired. Heat level critical. Target destroyed.
Good night. Let's finish off the round with a nice couple kills there. Excellent. Wow, that was great. We definitely had some awesome LRM support. 627, not too shabby. 2 kills, 8 assists. I'll definitely take it. It's probably the actually might be the best match I've had tonight, and you know, did the second most damage with it, and that's just with, you know, 4 energy hardpoints being used. I mean, so there, I feel like there's a lot of potential. There's still a lot to be discovered with this mech. There's still a lot of gameplay that I have to do with it before I figure out exactly which variant and which you know, loadout works best for me. But this was definitely a great run in this build. I can definitely see myself using it. You know, obviously not using a ballistics, so you guys definitely have to keep that in mind. And that was just, you know, obviously subjective. It met all my, you know, met all my standards, and it, you know, statistically, side by side against the other build that I was matching it up against, apart from using those LB10Xs, this was the better choice. I mean, overall, between the speed, heat dissipation, heat management, and you know, the DPS was the same, except I didn't have to, you know, use any tonnage, you know, on ammo. So, and it does have decent quirks for it. I put modules on it to make it even better. So, there you have it. This is the Rifleman Legend Killer. Again, oh man, I'm probably gonna wind up staring at this mech for like another 5 minutes, just because I love the actual look of it. But I'm still gonna have to work with some of these builds. So, but in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, become royal, and subscribe to the channel today. I will have information for you guys about the next upcoming subscriber giveaway that's coming up pretty soon. So I hope that you guys tune into that. Check out some of the other content that I placed on the channel. Shoot me an email if you do have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions. If you don't want to send an email, you can always feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And yeah, if you ever see me around and you know, I'm not recording or anything like that, I'd be more than willing to do some drops with you guys. Am planning to do a stream this week, so I definitely keep posted for that. I'll probably do the subscriber update, the subscriber giveaway update, and the stream update at the same time. So, in any case, thank you guys again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, guys.